and sugar and a lot of things not what we do.
Okay.
And I think the person that you won't find too many people that come into Starbucks and come into our store. It's usually one or the other.
Yeah.
And I think we in general have the discriminating palate for sure.
Okay.
Ambiance, I like our ambiance. I like ours a lot more, but I would never accept somebody liking that quality better or saying the quality is better. They might like it more because there's less sugar in it. Any little 2-year-old kid loves sugar, but anyway.
Yeah, I just sort of wanted to know what kind of mindset, kind of advantage.
Yeah. I think ours is one of local, and then it's quality, and then it's service. I do think Starbucks does a great job of service in general. It's very consistent. You know what you're going to get. You know what you're not going to get. So from that perspective, cool. And I'm not anti-Starbucks. I'm kind of making smart aleck remarks about it, but I'm not. I'm not. They serve a great purpose. They've expanded the market hugely, and we're a lot bigger company than we would have been if there were no Starbucks. And if I had a magic wand today, if I could keep them or get rid of them, oh my God, I'd keep them. I'd keep them right where they are. And when they closed those stores and hit that patch a while back, I thought that was not good for us. It was in our best interest that they got their act together. But at the same time, I said we're going to take advantage while they're not. And we did. We picked up quite a bit of business. There's this notion of not believing your headlines, not reading your headlines, I think. Is that how it is?
Your own press.
Yeah. There was a couple things that came out over the weekend, and I didn't watch it, didn't read it. I never do. And so we have a lot of work to do, but I'm really happy with the team that we have and what we're doing. We're going through a 5-year strategic planning process right now. And I had a notion that we were needed to burn some ships, that, we couldn't be best at everything, kind of like, Jack Welch, if you can't be number 1 or 2, then get out of it. So I really felt that, and I keep going through each channel, and each one of them, gosh, I love, and I'm thinking, like if you work in an office and you want our coffee in your office, and I felt myself saying, no, we're not going to sell to it. And then you might think, well, geez, I get it at the stores, I get it at my favorite restaurants, and I get it at the coffee shop. Why can't I get it at my office or stores or coffee shop or restaurant? And I thought, God, I can't. That doesn't feel right. I struggled with this for about 6 months. And then I started thinking, well, I need to look at some other companies, some other industries, and one of them was Boar's Head. And do you know those guys that really, really, really high quality meat and cheese and all that kind of stuff? They don't have a sales force, and they're like 120 or 30 years old. They just have independent distributors, and they have this big list of criteria that the store has to do in order to sell their product. And Starbucks has that too. A lot of, that's the whole model of what do you call it, franchises, when you get right down to it, right? So I thought, that's what we need to do. That's how we'll rein in a little bit of the brand, and then, I want it to come back up a little bit. I don't want it to just be anywhere. And I want it to be, continue to be special. And so we're gonna develop some tighter standards around that. Some of them might be a little selfish and self-serving, but at the end of the day, we got to make a tight, strong business. That's what we're going to need to do. And one example might be like bundling. If anybody has cable in here, yeah, how you can do it with the phone, and then they make it really easy for you. So for us, it'd be really easy to do espresso and coffee, espresso, coffee, and iced tea. And then if they want to cherry pick us, like they say, I want to do your coffee, but not your espresso, not your tea, then we might just think, what, that's not good for us long term, and we might not do that anymore. And I think that's probably going to be the way we go. But then when you do that, you need to, I think, okay, what's in it for me? What do I get? And that's what we'll have to come up with, a bundling price if you put everything in.
Last question.
I was just going to ask, don't we own Starbucks?
said? Why, what's going on there?
You know, and there, I think they wrote a pretty good sized check to make that happen. But I think we should talk to Father Kern about that.
Yes.
Huh?
Are you talking about like the little individual bottles?
No, downstairs in
He
the.
said the Starbucks.
I think they did, but you know what? Hats off to them if they did. I mean, I think they wrote a sizable check to have that happen. But it's a long time ago.
Well,
Hey,
get to Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys very much. Like lifestyle and all that. So when I started with Hellsberg Entrepreneur and Mentoring Program, so Barnett called me one time, I think it was like in '95. They wanted to get me set up, and so anyway, fast forward a year or so, and I get set up with Henry Block, and so I was asking that question, and so I said, Henry, so Henry, you know, all these guys I met a bunch of people through Kaufman through Fast Track, and a lot of them were going. Some of them wanted lifestyle, some of them wanted to just grow, flip, and whatnot. So I said, all these people are starting these companies to, to sell them, and God, I never even thought about it. That's not in my mind, not in my future. But you're kind of the quintessential American dream. You did it, you dreamed it, you built it, you sold it, and now you're kind of over there in that dream world. And is it as good as as everybody dreams it? And he goes, interesting question. While you don't know it, where you're at is where it's the most fun, building it. And he was sitting on something north of $1 billion, and he missed those days. And I probably talked to a couple dozen other folks that way. And one of them, we were getting a word some months ago, and one of my buddies, I won't say, sold his company and did extremely well. Started another company, is doing well. He said, don't sell. Whatever you do, don't sell. And I've heard that again and again and again. I have hardly run into anybody who sold and are happy. Because the deal is passion. If they wrapped up, if they're successful, it's probably something that they were super passionate about. And then they give up the very thing that they're passionate about too often. And anyway, for what it's worth, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.